guys, I'm Tom Koo from the Tom Koo Life channel, and today I have Motti from the Infinity AR. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
And thanks for taking this interview opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah,
Happy to be here.
That's great. So let's start with giving a brief introduction of your project.
Sure. So Infinity is a developer of operating system for augmented reality glasses. Just to explain, this is an example of augmented reality glasses. Augmented reality glasses allow you to still see the world. It's fully transparent, but still project hologram into your physical surrounding. Which means, for example, let's say I would like to play chess with you right now and we don't have any chessboard.
Yeah.
We both wear the glasses, we project a virtual hologram of the chess piece, same as Harry Potter you can play. Okay. But of course you can do much more with that. If I'm a doctor and I want to see a hologram of your scanned organ through an MRI, instead of seeing it on a 2D screen, I can see it on a 3D structure.
Okay.
If I need now to teach students about the solar system, mathematics equation, chemistry, DNA, they wear the glasses and see everything in 3D. If I'm an engineer and I'm now in the factory and I have no clue how to handle this machine or what is the problem, I wear the glasses recognize the machine and start showing me step by step how to handle it and how to
Okay, but
take care
I mean to do this, because you're providing the operating system, right?
Right.
So the software has to be developed by the other parts, right?
So just to explain, the application needs to be developed by an application developer.
Okay.
Think about us as the Android of augmented reality glasses, okay? So if you would like now to build this type of glasses and you are a hardware manufacturer coming out of China, Japan, Taiwan, so we will provide you with digital reference designs, which sensors to put in, how to mount it.
What is a digital reference design?
It means we will tell you which cameras and sensors you need to put in, which inertial measuring unit, which chipset you need to put inside, and we give you everything like how to mount them, what should be the clock, who is running them, everything you need in order to build the glasses.
Okay.
So you design now your own industrial design. This is one example from one of our customers called Georgine, coming out of Taiwan. And then we provide you with the software who run the glasses, which means mainly it allows the glass to fully understand the 3D surrounding, determine the device position orientation. So now we can project hologram into the world while you are moving freely. The hologram stays in one place, and you can walk around it and interact with it. In parallel, we also provide your developers with an SDK so they can develop an application for those glasses. So that's what Infinity offers.
Okay. So you're also providing the cameras?
No, we are just telling
lenses?
you. We are telling you which cameras you should buy.
Okay.
Okay. The good part, if you think about it, we would like to be the Android of the world. If you think about Apple, everything is vertically integrated, right? They control the chipset, the hardware, the operating system, and the distribution channel. We are on the opposite side. We are the Android of the augmented reality market, saying everything is open. You can choose and use any chip provider or cameras as long as we already integrated them with, and build your own design, and we'll provide you an operating system that you can develop to any direction.
And for how long have you already been in business,
So Infinity was founded in 2014.
Okay.
We raised till today $25 million. Our lead investor is Alibaba from China.
Okay.
We are now having something like 7 contracts with hardware manufacturers who are manufacturing those type of glasses. We have several. This one will go to market, I think, this Q4 in China for the education market.
All right.
So it's a Taiwanese-based ODM with a joint venture out of Shanghai. They built together a full solution for the education market in China.
All right. So then it's also you also implement the blockchain?
Yeah. So now that you have this hardware in place and the operating system, the question is, how do you allow developers with their creations and applications approach the market? How do you allow the hardware manufacturer to benefit from their glasses as well, right? So the way it works on the mobile phone, you have, like in the Western world, the duopoly of Apple and Google. They control everything. They charge 30% out of the developers, and the truth, there is no reason for that. So we've decided that on augmented reality glasses as the operating system, we wouldn't like to generate this monopoly. So we are now developing in the Infinity AR network. It's going to be open network that will provide developers, hardware manufacturers, consumers or users and advertisers with a free identity, curation, everything they need in order to upload application and sell it and rev share between their players without Infinity charging them to do that.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't understand, what is the role of the blockchain in this?
So once again, if you are building a regular marketplace like Apple and Google, then someone needs to control this marketplace. He needs to identify and screen the applications. He needs to handle the payments. He needs to charge, and then he's taking 30%. If you are building a blockchain-based marketplace, so you're building the infrastructure of the network that allows everybody to identify themselves, get reviews, settle the payment through the blockchain technology without a centralized entity that take care of it. The network will take care of it by themselves. For example, if you have many applications and developers and someone would like to upload, a harmful application, then the network will decide this application is not good for us and will not allow them to onboard the network. That's the idea. Okay?
I mean, so can you give an example, using actually this class?
So let's say I am
now this most probably, was created without the blockchain, right? This one.
But the blockchain is a software part that will be on top of it. Okay, so I am now, let's say, high school in China, and you have thousands of developers who would like to develop application for education, biology, chemistry. So how do the school in China can meet and exchange goods and money with this content application creator? So the way you do it, either he have a store managed by a centralized entity like Google and Apple, or he will have an open store where the developer can upload its application to this marketplace, and then the school can see it, and they can negotiate what will be the price, how they rev share. He might say, I would like to give this is an education institute, I would like to give you 1 year trial for free. He can do it because it's on a blockchain. On the contract, he can decide how to do that. And then he can decide, any student who will watch, some commercial coming from my advertiser, I will rev share it back to the student who can now use the token to buy additional content or additional application. Okay, so using a blockchain, suddenly you decentralize the marketplace that is controlled today by Apple and Google. You allow people to set their own business rules, okay? No longer there is a 30% that you need to pay Apple. You can decide to get money from your advertisers and rev share it with your customers. Okay? You can decide that for educational businesses you would like to give 1 year for free. You can do so many models that nobody will interfere. It's yours to decide. And we will not interfere because our business is the operating system and the SDK. We are not taking part of your creation. I think one of the most annoying thing in the industry is that you work hard as a developer and someone who is doing nothing taking 30% out of your revenue. That's not right.
Yeah, it's basically cutting out the middleman.
Exactly.
All right. But on the blockchain, using the smart contract, how do you, kind of process this, this transaction negotiation process?
So it's going to be done in steps, okay? From day one, we will not have enough developers and content to start the ecosystem. Eventually, if you think about our vision is that the ecosystem players, okay? The developers, the hardware manufacturers will run the network for themselves. So for example, if you're a developer and you would like to review applications and approve and settle problems between the network, you put money into the network and then you become a regulator of the world networks. In everybody,
you mean like token, right? Your token.
Yeah, a token. Okay, and when you put a token into the network, suddenly you are entitled to do all of that. So I would guess in the first year or two, when the network will be small, Infinity will handle all of those issues. But once we have, a few thousand developers, we don't want to run it anymore. We want the network itself to decide who is worthy to put an application, who is, what will be the rev share between the players. It's there to decide.
Okay. And, that's based on a consensus system, right?
Yeah, it's a system. It's not only consensus. It's a staking system. Okay, you stake money, you become now a moderator, and now you're allowed to do all of that stuff.
All right. Okay. And is the token economy the only, and the voting system, of course, is that the only
So
purpose?
the idea is you stake token to get identity, to become a curator, or to handle all the issues, and then once it's done, you're putting it for 1 year, for example, and then it's getting back to the network to be used by someone else. So the token economy will help us by, first of all, at the beginning you can buy our products through the token. Okay, so you can buy our SDK through the token. That's a very basic. Now you upload your application, so you need an identity. You will need to stake tokens into the network. The network will give you identity same as you pay license to Apple for a year, but once again, it's not to us, it's to the network, okay? A year passed, those tokens are getting released and going back to the network for someone else to use them as a staking mechanism. That's the idea, how the token economy will grow.
Okay. And then, how do you guys make profit out of it?
So once again, Infinity business model is licensing our software to the glasses manufacturer and licensing our technology to developer. It's a B2B business. You can license our SDK. It's a per seat, per year license, and you can create on top of it as much content as you like. On that part, we are not seeking to make money, but rather as a service to our community. Okay? I think that the best way to look at it is like looking at Linux and Red Hat. Okay, Linux is free for everybody, everybody can contribute, and then companies can grow on top of it business models, okay? So we will have the infrastructure of the network, and let's say you are the small developers and you don't like to handle payments, okay? I would guess someone will put on top of it a payment mechanism to help you do the clearing, okay? So that's how it's going to work. At the beginning, we will offer some of the services just to allow the network to run, but eventually, truly, I'm sure there are better companies rather than Infinity. It's not our job.
Okay. So is your project a protocol or is it a blockchain?
It's a blockchain. It's not a protocol. It will run on top of Ethereum.
Right.
Okay. And it really, the best way for us to distinguish it, it's a network. Okay. On top of this network, you can build a marketplace, for example. By the way, if someone wants, he can take this network and build his own marketplace. That's fine. Everything is fine as long as you let all the players of the ecosystem control their destiny and not having some centralized organization decide what is wrong, what is right, what should be the percentage of transaction and stuff like that.
And do you think the stake system will keep this kind of decentralized environment?
I truly believe that we need to get to a big enough user base in order to see how it works. But do I believe? Yeah, that's the reason we are starting that. In my previous startup, we have been dealing with application, and it was always frustrating to give 30% out of those. Something that you have worked on for years, and there is no real reason to pay 30%. Okay, it's not the real market value. Now we will let our developers set their own rules of engagement, decide how they would like to rev share, and make them the curators and the moderators of the network.
So when you were, before the blockchain I'm talking about, you also charged 30%?
No, so today, before the blockchain, on augmented reality glasses, there is no marketplace. Okay, this is the additional product we're adding to our offering.
All right.
Okay, today the way it works, you get the glasses with the operating system, and then the developer can develop, and then you need to have like a direct relationship with the party who is buying the glasses and develop for him the application. There is no still marketplace for this type of glasses.
Okay, but the 30% then, isn't it a different world? Because you're talking about Apple and, other hardware companies.
Eventually, if Apple and Google will move to glasses, they would like to maintain this business model. And I think whoever going to come first and set those new rules of engagement will be available to control. Let's say in Apple, in any case, it will work like that, right? Apple is a closed garden solution. You have no alternative, right? If Apple will come out with glasses and they would like to introduce marketplace, it will be dominated by Apple. Nothing you can do about. The question is, do we need to agree also on an Android side, or decide, hey, let's have an operating system that the marketplace on top of this operating system is free.
But you know why I'm asking this, right? Because I mean, you want to cut out the middleman, but actually, that market is different from yours. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're talking about the glass market, right? Right now, AR glass market.
We tend to think about it as a different market. It won't. In, let's say, 5 years from today, every household will have those type of devices for entertainment, for gaming, for education, and you will need to purchase applications for your kids, for your, I don't know, training, for whatever you would like to use. It will be the same as smartphones.
Okay.
There's not going to be any difference. You look at it and you say, hey, it's look like a very cumbersome device, still not that. It's going to be a very cool, sleek device that everybody will buy for their household.
Yeah.
I believe in 5 years from today, gaming will be changed forever. Okay? Why should I play on a 2D screen where I can wear glasses and have a totally new interaction?
But I mean, the reason I'm asking is because mostly investors or ordinary people, they are always concentrating on what kind of problem you started from, to resolve, to adopt, the blockchain to kind of resolve it, right? But in this case, it seems like you're actually betting on the future.
No, the problem is happening right now. Okay, the one I described to you, having schools with those devices and developers cannot offer their goods. That's the problem right now. That's why we started the project. It was very clear to us right from the beginning that once you have thousands of universities, hospitals, engineering factories, there will be developers who would like to develop for them application, but there is no marketplace for them. So it's not a future need. Always people think about marketplace as a consumer play. People forget how many enterprises are selling their goods through the marketplace. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, because what I think is that because the school example. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, if they contact you, actually, you will know how to help them, right?
No.
Even without the blockchain talking.
No. Let's say you bought it for your school and you get the first application that is, I don't know, teaching biology. But as you can imagine, you have like endless applications. You can use it in school. Who will build it for you? Not infinity. You have thousands, millions of developers out there that are waiting to develop for those type of devices. And once they will develop those creations, how will they distribute it? How will they charge them? The easy way is to go through Google and Apple, right, and pay them 30%. The better way is to have a blockchain network that will help them do all of that by cutting the middleman.
I mean, for instance, I kind of, when I need some technological help, I'm not saying that, this model can be applied to this. I'm just kind of, making a metaphor. For instance, Upwork. Ever heard about Upwork?
No.
I mean, it's a platform you can find, all these technologists, web designer, React designer, whatever developers, and then you can actually negotiate the price, set up, milestones. I mean, it's not blockchain based, but I think, for the school example, actually, that kind of platform will be very effective.
Once again, the school or everybody else is kind of agnostic to the running technology, right? They don't care. They just want to have a marketplace to search for applications, see the price, and get the application, right? That's what the school is looking for. If you have a middleman like Apple, then it's 30%, which means it goes higher, the application price, without any reason. If it's a blockchain base, suddenly the price can get lower.
I mean, Apple is not a middleman in this business. That's what
right,
I'm talking
but
about.
Google is.
Google is? Google
course.
actually is a middleman for the glasses?
Google is the middleman for everything that is Android Linux based, right? If you think about it. So they are not playing here right now. I guess they will play here in 1 or 2 years, and I think what we would like to be is to have an alternative to their store, controlled by the community rather by a centralized body who will decide what is right, what is wrong, how much you should pay for that.
But if I say, it's just my honest opinion, okay? I mean, that's my role right now. I mean, investors, they are always, focusing on, what kind of problem this blockchain project tries to solve. The reason is because if it's really kind of, agreed by a large number of people, and and these large number of people would most probably use it once it's up and running. That means it's going to generate profit. That's the reason why they focus on the problems the blockchain solve. But right now, my feeling is that actually, the example of Google and Apple is good because currently in their own area they are charging like 30% for nothing, and cutting out this middleman makes only sense. But the thing is that the AL glass market is kind of different, right? It's still not a very popular market at this point, right?
Well, it's not different. It's in an early stage. You try to emphasize it's different. It's not different. It's in an early stage, okay? And in this early stage, the question is, what type of business model will dominate this new technology? The easiest way is always to go with what we know and accept and pay the additional 30%. We truly believe that blockchain now can totally change the power between those monopolies and the end developer. Mm-hmm. This is where blockchain really is changing the power. I don't need Google to handle my store. I don't need Google to handle my transactions. I don't need to pay Google 30%. We can do it on a network that is dominated by the players in this ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. And when is your plan to launch actually your platform, blockchain?
So the blockchain platform itself will be launched. We publish a white paper, so you can see it there, at the beginning of 2020, when we'll have enough glasses over there. And also it will take, we believe, something like 18 months to develop the network.
Okay, all right. Do you think, because right now, to build that kind of huge system on Ethereum, at this point, it's actually not making sense, right?
So I guess we are building it. We are starting on Ethereum when we are building the basic blocks of the network, identity, curating, handling all the issues in the network, and then I guess we will need to transfer to another network that can handle micropayments and can be much faster. Mm-hmm.